What's up, everyone, and welcome to the last ROBEYTECH of 2019, where I, Justin Robey, aka Robey1 Kenobi, talk tech with you wonderful people. We're going to get you up to speed on everything going on in the PC and hardware gaming world. Today's episode, we're talking about Intel's 10th gen spec, leaks about Intel's Discrete GPU, Apple might be making a gaming computer, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ROBEYTECH. Now, we've got some leaks about Intel's upcoming 10th gen CPU. A few slides have leaked by Informatica Zero, and it has some interesting info if this is to be believed. It looks like the most high-end CPU will be the 10900K. You know what, honestly, I'm hoping that at some point in time they're going to shrink the numbers. Now, the 10900K will have 10 cores and 20 threads that could hit a clock speed of 5.2 gigahertz on boost. But the interesting part is that they say that they could make these cores just a little bit more beefy with a new feature called velocity boost and juice out another 0.1 gigahertz from the 10900K, and in an interesting twist, the non-K version. Now, while the non-Ks in standard Intel fashion are not unlocked, thus unable to be overclocked, giving that lineup a CPU that can hit higher clock speeds in an interesting move from Intel, depending on what the price point ends up being. Now, we pulled the story from Video Cards, and they said right before they published the story, they were asked to remove a few slides that had leaked, but they posted the information that was on the slides themselves. I don't know how that helped. Now, these slides pertain to performance and features, so let's break down what really matters. It looks like these are going to get a new versions of Intel's Turbo Boost Max 3.0 technology that is going to allow the boost clocks to be raised across all cores, with the highest end getting the velocity boost treatment as well. Something called active core group tuning, a new Wi-Fi 6 with Gig Plus support, 40 PCIe Gen 3 lanes, not Gen 4, hyper-threading across the i3 to i9 lineup. The only thing we don't see are any apples-to-apples comparisons with anything AMD has put out recently. Now, while Intel does need a win here, we're not sure this is going to be the knock it out of the park moment that Intel needs to get back in the game. Now, it's cool, and it appears that Intel is continuing the all-core turbo boost from the 9900KS. But is that really going to be enough? I mean, people thought the KS wasn't even enough. Will these perform better in gaming scenarios than Ryzen? I know the K and the KS are. It's not just about gaming anymore. Now, no one knows for sure, but guess what? I intend to find out. Now, in the past, Apple's Mac lineup was directed at pro users. Well, for the most part. The recent Mac Pro desktop that could be configured up to $53,000 does scream pro user, or really rich pro user, even in its most affordable variants. But what about gaming? Sure, there have been MacBook Pros that could handle a few games that were supported by the platform. They weren't ever optimized for games. But that might be changing in 2020. Rumors from patently Apple claim that we might see the launch of a gaming Mac in 2020 that could hit a $5,000 price point. Surprise! Man, $5,000, whew. Now, while that's not exactly a budget machine, this could give you a lot of bang for your buck provided the Apple tax doesn't apply too heavily. And we have yet to see that not happen. Hello, $600 wheels. Now, there's no confirmation that this will be a desktop, a laptop, or an all-in-one machine like the iMac. But the source is leaning more towards the all-in-one route for the gaming-centric Apple device. That means they could go toe-to-toe with pre-built machines like Origin PC, Corsair's One, and a ton of other builders out there making gaming-focused rigs. According to the leak, it looks like they might have their sights set on esports, which is a bold strategy if true, and would be quite an uphill battle for Apple. It will be interesting if this is true, since they would have to make sure the popular games are supported by their OS, which hasn't been the case, well, ever really. But if there's one thing we've learned over the years is that Apple can surprise us when we least expect it. Now, some more interesting things have come out from Team Blue recently, specifically targeting their GPU. The focus of this was on the number of execution units and shading units, a number that none of us have ever used. The new DG1 XE claims to have 96 execution units and 768 shading units, which might sound like a lot, but then you look at what it is compared to the integrated graphics from Skylake CPUs. It's pretty close. So what could this all mean? This could mean integrated graphics for mobile processors are going to get a boost in performance, which is great, but further speculation has surfaced because the DG1 appears to have multi-GPU support. Intel might be looking to boost their lower-end discrete GPUs when you pair it with a CPU using the DG1 integrated graphics, kind of like Optane. If you don't know what Optane is, it's basically something that boosts hard drive speeds. All we know is that when AMD tried to do this similarly, it didn't really work out so well for them. But hey, let's try it again. Anyway, we'll keep you posted, and if we start seeing info about this actually in their discrete GPUs. Now, some of you might be aware of the crowdfunded game that has been in development for a very long time. That's right, we're talking about Star Citizen. Star Citizen is a game that has over $260 million in crowdfunding, making it the largest crowdfunded game ever. But its growing scale and scope has pushed the deadline back again and again and again. The standalone story mode, which is why I originally backed it way back in whenever that was, Squadron 42 is one of those deadlines that has been moved consistently, but we finally got a new visual teaser that actually looks pretty cool. This is one of the biggest looks we've seen at the antagonist of the Star Citizen universe, the Vanduul, their ships and their design in quite a while. It looks like they're aiming to release a beta of Squadron 42 sometime in Q3 of 2020. So let's cross our fingers, our toes, our backs, anything, and hope that they do not move this again so backers, like myself, actually get their hands on the story mode we've been backed for so long. Now keep in mind, this is an extremely ambitious game with a massive universe with persistence, and Squadron 42 has quite the cast of actors from like Mark Hamill, Gary Oldman, Gillian Anderson, Ben Mendelsohn, Andy Serkis, and more. But as the movie Cats has shown us, a large cast of well-known actors does not a good story make. In one of our last videos, we covered some of the best-selling titles on Steam in November, which included a lot of Halo. Now we have the list of all of 2019, as well as the new releases and most played games. It doesn't look like there was necessarily put in any order, but rather grouped together in batches of like platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. Top sellers on the platform were Warframe, PUBG, Total War 3 Kingdoms, Destiny 2, ESO, CSGO Operation Shattered Web, Monster Hunter World, GTA 5, Civ 6, Sekiro, Dota 2, and Rainbow Six Siege. Interesting that Elder Scrolls Online is on the list as well as GTA 5. GTA 5 has been out for a while but has always continued to sell well. It does seem that the latest expansion for ESO has brought a large number of MMO fans back to the series, which is good for them. Now, some of the best new releases of 2019 include Halo Master Chief Collection, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Red Dead Redemption 2, and of course, why not? VR titles gotta love this year, with Skyrim VR, Blade and Sorcery, Beat Saber, and more topping the charts with a lot of games doing quite well on Steam VR. But as we all know, it's one thing to buy a game on Steam, it's actually another to play it. You all know what I'm talking about with your game library over a mile long, your pile of shame stacked to the ceiling with games you've never played, but you've bought them. This year, some of the games that saw more than 100,000 concurrent players were games like Warframe, Halo Master Chief Collection, Sekiro, Destiny, GTA 5, and PUBG, to name a few. Well, that is it for ROBEYTECH today. Let us know what you thought about the news today in the comments below. What was your most played of game of 2019? What are your thoughts on 10th gen Intel's CPU? Are you looking forward to Squadron 42 in 2020? Maybe 2021, 2022, 2023, hell, maybe 2030. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Now, while you're down there, be sure to slap that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that notifications bell so you get a notification each and every time we post a new video. Also, head on over to mixer.com/Robey1Kenobi and give us a follow over there for our live show every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific. And be sure to drop us a follow over on Twitter and at Instagram over at Robey1Kenobi. And guess what? We're now on Facebook, facebook.com/ROBEYTECH. Thank you so much for watching. Now, go play some games, build some PCs, heck, hang out, watch The Mandalorian, maybe some High School Musical, the musical, the series. You know what you should definitely check out? The Witcher, because that's a good show. And Brian, you need to stop sleeping through good TV. Anyway, guys, we'll see you later. #BeefyCores.